Hey, beautiful people, have you felt it? The shift, the glitches within time, time either speeding up, slowing down, or even losing time. What felt like to be moments turns into 20 minutes or more, or that sense of stepping outside of time. And importantly, the quiet dissolving of old connections, the unexplainable surreal distance between you and the world you once knew. I'd love to know if you're experiencing this. Do let me know. Do share your stories below, your experiences, your take on this. I know I'm experiencing it. You know, if you said to me springtime of 2025 I would be no longer a part of the medicine garden, that I would have let the medicine garden go, I would have said to you, no way. But here's the thing, I can remember the very moment where I woke up in the morning and felt so strongly all of that was about to shift. And actually it was the reverse of how I got there in the first place. Because how I got there in the first place was an intervention. How I left was also an intervention. But for years I could see this timeline moving. I could see certain events happening within this space. And yet I woke up the reverse of how I got there. Because how I got there was I woke up one morning and I could feel a presence lingering in the doorway. Now, if I ever wake up and feel a presence lingering in the doorway, all information is information. I know that they want to have a sit down and they want to have a conversation with me. And I felt that so strongly, and I kind of leant in. And as I leant in, I could feel this presence, this female presence, and these words wash over me. In this lifetime, you've grown many things, you've touched many lives, now it's time to grow a garden. And I remember that so clearly, it like hit me very solidly. I remember thinking, wow. Within half an hour, I was up, dressed, out. And as I turned left along the path, I bumped into a neighbour of mine. I hadn't seen her for a while. And she says to me, Shane, I'm glad I bumped into you. Never by chance. It's never by chance. It's by design. Shane, I'm glad I've bumped into you. Never by chance. I'm so glad I've bumped into you. I was thinking of you. I just put my name down for a place within a community garden. Would you be interested? And I thought to myself, my God. And I laughed and said to her, I think I should be. You know, and I was down there for 7 years, you know. Within weeks of that experience, I had my own space. Many of you know the story, and we were down there for 7 years. 7 years. And I saw certain things playing out within that space along that timeline. Okay? But how I left was the reverse of how I got there. I can remember still so very clearly the very morning that I woke up with a presence there in the doorway, and I could feel that all of that was about to shift and change. And I was like, wow. And I knew it with every fibre of my being. And I took the pathway, I took the steps to let all that go. I just knew it. And that's what I'm saying to you, timelines are shifting. Now here's the thing, you know, it was like spirit led, that presence in the doorway. And I remember walking down the trackway of the community garden, walking down the trackway, knowing that I had done everything that I was meant to do within that space. Everything that I had set out to do within that space had been met. And I could feel this peace just absolutely wash over me. It was like complete. And I also felt like so much just drop away too. And then this feeling that everything was about to shift. Everything was about to change. It was absolutely profound. But yet for years I'd seen certain things play out within that space. It's like I'd literally been picked up, the intervention, and placed on this completely different timeline. You know, it's so profound. And I felt this deep sense walking along that track, this deep sense of peace. And it being a huge year, there were certain things that were pointing towards a change was going to happen. And I felt this deep sense of peace just wash over me. And this deep feeling of just, I'm about to be moved. And that is exactly what happened. Yet for years I'd seen that play out. So, you know, it's almost like this intervention. And what is that, you know? It's pure chemistry. It's divine alchemy. You know, maybe it's like there's something within us that is always reaching out to become the greatest version of ourselves, and maybe there's a part of us that is constantly also reaching out to our highest timeline. And I know this, and I know this really clearly. If I'd stayed within that space, there'd been a part of me that would have been hiding. I absolutely know that, and I've felt that so really strongly for the last month or so. If I stayed within that space, because, you know, outside of consulting, it kind of it demanded a lot of my time and attention and energy, and family and friends have been a part of that, and that's been priceless. But I know that if I'd continued, there'd been a part of me that would have been hiding. That is profound. Hence why I believe the intervention come. It's like, we've got other plans for you. And it is pure chemistry and it's divine alchemy. Yet it also can be fucking brutal. You know, because the other aspect of that is that if I had stayed, I think that that timeline would have deteriorated. Instead of my life going forwards, it would have gone backwards. You know, because all of what is no longer working is literally in meltdown. It's melting down. What we are experiencing, seeing within the collective, is either rupture or breakthrough. You know, the cosmic furniture of our lives continues to be rearranged, realigned, and if required, thrown wholly into the fucking air. And that is a brutal process. Rupturing, alchemizing, and forced into healing or breakthrough. Now here's the thing. Yet rupture eventually leads into breakthrough. From the shell of the old world, a new world will be born. Those of you that have followed me for a while, do you remember me saying those words? The first time I did was on a live stream around winter solstice 2019. And I was asked, what does 2020 look like? And I remember looking down at the floor, feeling this heaviness, and then looking up and saying, quite simply saying, a cosmic pause. I remember people going, what the fuck? What the hell is a cosmic pause? And I went, I don't know, but I'm feeling it. And then saying, From the shell of the old world, a new world will be born. What happened in 2020? You know, we are now living it. And as you look out into the world, what do you see? What are the predominant themes, energies, threads flowing through the world right now? You know, we are living in a time of soul alchemy and global alchemy. Timelines designing by aligning. You know, if there is a part of us that is reaching out for the highest version of ourselves, reaching out for the highest timeline, our inner compass will be letting us know. I can see the huge shift in myself since making some of those decisions. It's showing up. It's showing up here. It's showing up in the way that I'm presenting myself. You know, physically showing up also with the way that the work is presenting itself. In the branding, all of what we do. You know, which is this sense of listening to this inner compass. And then, you know when you're aligning. If I had stayed in that space, I know I would have been coming out of alignment. And my timeline would have gone backwards, not forwards. My life would have gone backwards, not forwards. Timelines designing by aligning. All of what is no longer working is literally in meltdown. It's melting down. We are seeing a timeline split. From the shell of the old world, a new world is being formed. A world within a world. And my heart tells me that the 5D consciousness is streaming into the world. And as it does, it is shaking everything up. You know, Spirit crafted this beautiful post last week called Time Travel. And it goes like this. When you shift into the higher timeline, those that still anchored in the 3D will search for you, but not find you. They remember you, but they don't recognize you. For you are now vibrating beyond their field of perception. We are seeing a timeline split. Profound, that post. It's gold. We are seeing a timeline split. Yet in that timeline split, we are seeing a huge polarity play out right out in front of us. We are seeing rupture. We are seeing breakthrough. What we're seeing is super conscious individuals, really high vibrational forces of positivity for our world, whilst at the same time, the same exact time, like we are seeing the most unconscious displays of darkness and all out fuckery that is also playing out in front of us. And that was once hidden at other points and moments of time, now being revealed and illuminated out in plain sight. Is it things are getting worse, or is it that they are becoming more seen? Now that is profound food for thought. And people are either in apathy or turning a blind eye, and all of the shenanigans that goes with that. These times are seismic, but I also feel them to be special, and at some level you could also kind of consider them as chaotic, or even both. Yet this is a process of global alchemy. Global alchemy meeting soul alchemy. After all, as within, as without, as above, as below. we are literally seeing the timeline split between consciousness and unconsciousness. For you, if you feel called to and you feel ready to take a deep dive, roll up those sleeves and lean right into the fabric of these teachings, we have some places still left for this Sunday the 13th, which feels hugely auspicious. Sunday the 13th of April, hosted by our dear friends over at Divine Light Wellbeing, which feels to me, Spirit have always said, it is a modern day mystery school. We have some places left on this Sunday's journey, which is going to be hugely a journey diving deep into those themes, exploring those teachings and exploring what it means to navigate these times. And it is a deep dive. It is from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 o'clock in the evening in the most incredible location, the most beautiful spaces. As I say, it is a modern day mystery school, and what I find is the group dynamics often hold medicine pieces for each other, and all of that plays out as well. These journeys are deeply transformational. It started off as the mechanics of mediumship, and then very deeply and quickly kind of transformed, alchemized, and turned into soul alchemy, with the threads of seeing beyond and seeing into the unseen. Now I'm going to leave that with you. I will leave links within the video description or within the profile, depending where you are watching this. And as always, sending you all so much love. Keep shining until next time.